recording. Okay, this cover just pressure clamps on. It's got some indents around their side. It's been peened on. To get it off, I tried using some hooks to leverage it off, and it just didn't go. What worked for me was with the long screwdriver. I tried here on the edge of it, a little bit that way, and then through this opening at the bottom came down. Some very light taps. Didn't take much effort. Tap, tap, and it popped off. That exposes the two 5mm cap bolts in there to take this off to get the clearance you need when you're maneuvering this around. Judging from the smell of it and the looks of it, looks like there might be some hardened RTV or some type of thread sealant on these bolts. Be aware of that when you put it back together. The shop manual, of course, will tell you what it is and where to put it. I'm going to remove all the case bolts, starting with the highest number, which is 35. It's in the back corner on the top. Highest number to little number, breaking them loose quarter turn until they're all loose. I believe it's bolt 19 that they designate is missing, meaning there is no 19 underneath here. I'll confirm that once I get into it. And also, I believe they skipped the number 20 in their numbering system, because they go from 21 on the top and then jump to the 19 as the highest on the lower half. And where it designates to be a 19, there's no possible way for a bolt to be there, but we'll confirm. I know this part very well where all the bolts are, so I'm just going to trust you have a service manual, follow the pictures. The numbers are embossed. These bolts here are essentially the main cap bolts. These are bolts numbers 1 through 8, I believe. Excuse me, 1 through 11. 11 is an odd number, it can't be 11. Yeah, 1 through 12. 12, these are essentially the main cap bolts here, 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 and this is the bottom of the motor where the oil pan will be going up. They're kind of a long, screwy looking little thing. There's a washer, don't forget that, don't lose it. Be aware that there's going to be a washer there. Break everything loose first, that's what I've done, and I'm backing out all the bottom stuff first, put it back on top, and then back out all the top stuff. I did not find a 19, did not find a 20. We'll see if the case is split. It would be smart, if not tedious, although tedious, to label your bolts. Put them on some cardboard, some numbers with some holes in there. Put them on a notebook and then taping them to the notebook. Show you what I mean when I'm done getting the page, just so you can be certain you're putting them back where they need to be. Technically, they wouldn't have to go back to the exact same spot as long as you got the right bolts in the right place, but there are varying sizes of bolts. This is what I've been doing with my bolts. I just wrote down a piece of notebook paper, labeled them, taped them. I'll rip this sheet out. Not saying you can go fling it around in the world, but it'll keep it together. Take this sheet off, put it aside, and have another sheet, and continue on, so I know where everything was. Cardboard would be stronger with the holes, but I think it's more work to put all the holes in the cardboard. Do whatever you want as long as you keep them where they need to be. Okay, taking all the bolts out right now. I just noticed something on 25. I was going to note there's made a squishing sound, which I don't know if you'll be able to hear. But there's definitely something underneath there to be aware of. I don't know it yet. I could look it up. So just be aware of that. Not quite sure what's going on with mine. Definitely an oil squashing kind of sound, and it feels kind of soft as well. But it is also threaded at the same time, so it's an odd feeling. We'll see what happens when we get... Okay, let me take the time to show you bolt 19. You go up through this hole here. And in here is bolt 19. If you look in here, there is a big arrow pointing to it right here. This is it there. Up through there and there. Definitely bolt 19. Didn't find a bolt 20. Okay, I have moved all the bolts, tapped wire on the case, seems to have cracked loose. I'm now going to lift the upper case off the bottom case. There will be bearings, and they may fall for the mains on the crank. There's a circlip for the transmission stuff as well that may fall as well. You guys got to be aware of where it came from and put it back, and don't forget about it. So I'm just going to record this and see what happens as we go. I'll try and move the camera to another angle so that you may perhaps see what it is that I'm doing better. And I'm just wiggling the case. And something feels connected. I think it's that hose from the bottom. Connected to the crankcase holder. Yep. And be mindful of the chain here. Get me twisted up. Okay. And pull this through. Cases are split.